What is going on, everybody? It's KB. Before the episode starts, make sure you go check out StreamerSZN's brand new theme music. That's right. We have full-time, brand new theme music thanks to the newest homie and newest member of the music side of Underground Sports Philadelphia homies. That is Mobley. Stay Volk. His new single is out now. It is linked in the description on YouTube, and you'll be hearing it on audio until we can figure out if we can play it on video on StreamerSZN episodes from here on out. That's our new theme music. Stay Volk. Go download it now wherever you get your music, and go check out the music video on YouTube. But now, let's get into the episode of StreamerSZN.
Philadelphia, baby, you're gonna love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
I'm surprised nobody took the Rocky running up the art museum steps and dubbed over Kate Bush running up that hill.
Content idea?
Da-na-na, da-na-na. What is going on, fellow streamers? And welcome in to another edition of StreamerSZN, the exclusive streaming platform, TV and movie podcast on the Underground Sports Philadelphia Podcast Network. It's KB and Dylan coming at you with another episode. We got Ted Lasso, we got White House Plumbers, we got news and notes to all discuss tonight on the episode. Before we get started, make sure you guys are following us at StreamerSZN on Twitter and Instagram. Follow Dylan on Twitter at Dylan Mazzola. Follow me at KBIZZL311. Follow Christian at TheWiz_PHI. Subscribe to the podcast feed. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you decide to consume your podcast from. And Dylan, for the second straight week, say the line.
The line is this. You be leaving recommendations in the comment and or review sections of any of the applications you listen to our beautiful voices, and giving Kyle, Christian, and I ideas of what to watch and stream next. We can do movies, we can do TV shows, we can do Hulu, Amazon, you name it. Kyle just pointed out to me off camera that the Mario movie came out to Amazon. Granted, we thought it was to stream, not to buy or rent, but that's okay. Nonetheless, things are always coming out, so let us know, and we'll get back to you.
Yeah, we got that. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is now on Disney+, so we'll be diving into some of the MCU stuff that is now available on streaming as the summer months, come upon us. And, of course, with the writer's strike going on, there's not too much new stuff that'll be coming out over the next few months. So we'll be diving into the depths of the streaming services,
if you will.
And as always, we stand in solidarity with the Writers Guild of America. But yeah, like Dylan said, leave a 5-star review on Apple, 5-star rating on Spotify. It really does help the show continue to grow, helps more people find StreamerSZN, helps more people find Underground Sports Philadelphia, and subscribe to our YouTube channel as well if you want to watch the episodes in full video form. YouTube.com/@UndergroundSportsPhiladelphia. That's where you get full video episodes of this podcast and every podcast on our network. We have a company-wide goal of trying to get to 500 subscribers before Memorial Day. By the time you guys are listening to this, that's about 10 days to play with. We are currently sitting at 464 subscribers. I completely think it's doable for us to get to 500 before Memorial Day. Let's keep pushing. We're right there. 36 more of you need to subscribe for us to get there. So go subscribe, youtube.com/@UndergroundSportsPhiladelphia. Smash the like button, ring the bell icon, and you can do the line as well in the YouTube comment section. Leave your movie and show recommendations down there. Leave your thoughts on everything Dylan and I discuss on this week's episode, and anything else in between. We'll read the comments as long as they're nice. We don't read the mean ones because they're not nice.
Those are mean.
And of course, make sure you guys go get your merch from our awesome merch partners at PHI Apparel Company. They are the best in the game. We're working on some new merch ideas for all of our brands heading into the summer months. And PHI Apparel Co. provides unique designs and high-quality clothing for the great fans of Philly with their original designs for all. There's no doubt you'll stand out in the crowd. And, of course, unique designs for our podcast network. StreamerSZN hoodie is my favorite hoodie I own. It is clean. I wore it to the movie theater when I went to go see Guardians 3. I'm probably going to wear it to the movie theater next weekend when I go see the Machine movie with Burt Kreischer and Mark Hamill. It is the most comfortable lounging hoodie that you can wear. The Streamer Season letters that you see if you're watching on the YouTube. We have that on a t-shirt as well, and we're working on some new stuff that we're conjuring up with our good pals at PHI Apparel Company. And our listeners, you guys, we did get something fixed, so all of the Underground Sports Philadelphia merch now is free shipping, no matter what, and you get 10% off when you use our code UNDERGROUND on any apparel order when you shop online at phiapparel.co. It's phiapparel.co, code UNDERGROUND for 10% off your order. Dylan, Ted Lasso, our journey continues with AFC Richmond in Season 2. And this week's episode that we have is Season 2, Episode 2, titled Lavender. Great episode. Absolutely enjoyed it. It does a lot in like the 30-minute runtime that it allots for you. You get a character reintroduction to like the main plot line. You get some character discourse. You get some nice little bonk hours going on. And it's an episode that's not necessarily like revolving around Ted.
No, that's the coolest thing. I think we talked about that a little bit last time. You were talking about how it's able to, like have other characters take the spotlight and have other storylines. And I think Ted Lasso is a great example because like it very much is about Ted, but it's very much not about that. There's very much, I think, themes it follows, but it's not just about Ted Lasso. There's quite a few other characters. Like I would go as far to say that like Ted is the main character, and obviously every show or movie has side characters, but there are several other main characters, and then even side characters get the limelight. Like I would say that Rebecca is obviously a main character, and I would say that Roy Kent. I'm not sure. He's main character. He's Jamie Tart as a main character. You know what I mean? Like there are several main characters, and it likes to pivot. Keeley, main character. There's a lot, you know, and that's the markings of a good show, and you can have multiple storylines and not have the viewer get confused.
Yeah, it does a great job of like interweaving characters into the main plot line, into their own plot lines.
Yes, sir.
And I thought this episode did a great job of like kind of like in the best way possible taking the spotlight off of Ted and making Ted kind of a supporting character. And this episode was heavy Roy Kent, heavy Jamie Tart, heavy interpersonal connections and everything. So let's dive right into it. Episode originally aired July 30th, 2021. So during the new episode of Lust Conquers All, a Love Island-esque type of show in the Ted Lasso universe, Jamie Tart is voted off the show. He tries to rejoin Manchester City, but they are not interested in accepting him for leaving the club for Lust Conquers All. He is also considered risky due to his arrogant nature behind and on the camera. And with Higgins hiring Sharon for the season, who was the therapist that we met in last week's episode that we broke down, Ted tries to befriend her, although she is more interested in seeing his coaching methods. Meanwhile, Roy Kent is disheartened when the girls' team that he's coaching loses a championship, and returning to the apartment, he finds Keeley masturbating to his retirement announcement, which upsets him. But she said, hey, you're being vulnerable and you're being emotional, and I like that. And you haven't done that since you gave up football. And
that's one of the busiest scenes, by the way. Like, I forgot about that because I haven't watched the episode. And Kyle was talking about that, and I was like, I forgot that even happened in the show, but it does make sense with what you were saying. Like, she's seeing a whole new side of him.
And she finally convinces him to accept a part-time job as a Sky Sports commentator. Jamie meets with Ted at a bar, hoping to get back at AFC Richmond. And when questioned by Ted, Jamie reveals that he left Manchester City because he wanted to anger his demanding father. Even though Ted understands his situation, he says he cannot let him rejoin the team, which Jamie accepts. And their encounter is photographed by some fans at a bar, making it look like they're being held in the person's hand, which was very funny, with the public believing that Ted was bringing Jamie back to the club. During training, Sam refuses to properly train, believing that Jamie will return despite his bullying, and Ted reaffirms that Jamie is not returning to the club. Still, he talks with Higgins, Beard, and Nate about bringing him back, feeling he deserves a second chance. Higgins supports the decision, but Beard and Nate oppose to his return. Also, Dylan, I was thinking we should make Diamond Dogs shirts.
Dude. Ooh. I love that.
And during his first day at Sky Sports, Roy causes problems with the executives for the use of heavy cursing on live TV. And in contrast, the audience reception is far more positive for his honesty. This motivates the network to ask him to return, with Roy admitting that he enjoyed the job, which led to him inserting some headphones into Keely's ears, and round 2, fight.
Wow.
I've been really trying.
Oh, they were trying.
At night, Ted talks with Sharon, who notes that their 8-tie streak should be a concern for Ted, and he must consider what his best choice is for the club. And the next day, to the club's surprise, Jamie shows up for training, having been accepted by Ted, and everybody is ready to rock and roll, and that's where things get left off. A very fun, entertaining episode. Like, I think this is one of my favorite episodes so far, including season 1. They hit every single note properly in this one. Really add to the overarching plot and story of Ted Lasso, while giving more life to some of the what you would traditionally consider side characters or supporting characters. You give them some main character syndrome in the best way possible.
Yeah, that's just something I like in TV shows. Like, it gets boring when it's just like the same thing over and over again in terms of like main character. This is all you get, and that episode's definitely fun. I like the Keely and Roy relationship. They bring out interesting sides in each other. I like the whole Rebecca is like on the dating app and stuff, that episode. And Jamie is such a fascinating character to just to just watch. He only gets better, Kyle. I will say that.
Big fan of just the overall like execution of this episode, and
also I don't like Nate. Sorry.
Yeah, Nate kind of takes a heel turn in this episode. Like, very minimal, but if you pay attention close enough, you can kind of see he's turned into a scumbag.
Starting to slowly and surely pile on to the new Kitman, which I get. You know, he has like an ounce of power, and he's not doing that anymore. But it's also like, bro, you of all people know how you felt when you had to go through that level of, you know what I mean, like hurt stuff. So don't be that guy.
And obviously, we talk about it a ton. We're still trying to figure out what we're going to call it. I think Roy Kent is making a hardcore case for being inducted into the StreamerSZN eventual, whatever we call, Hall of Fame.
Okay, so you are loving him just like everyone else is?
Big fan.
He's amazing.
Big fan. Yeah, and like just the way he and Keely like bounce off of each other too is just fantastic. So that brings us to our rating for this one. I'm gonna see if this is written in here or not. Miles McNutt of the AV Club, when this episode came out in 2021, gave it an A- grade. Vulture gave it a 4 out of 5. TV Fanatic gave it a 4.2 out of 5. So wildly like positive reception on this episode. So Dylan, on our scale, what are you giving episode 2 of season 2 of Ted Lasso?
I'd give it like an 8.6. I was probably higher. It's just for me, I'm not rewatching it with Kyle yet. I'm gonna rewatch it probably when he gets to season 3, just because I admittedly haven't had time to rewatch season 2. I did rewatch season 2 in the summer, but last summer. But point is, it's been a little while, but I know the episode's a lot better than the first one. I know that at season 2, I believe the way I felt when I watched it is every episode gets better. And that's
I was a big fan. I think I'm right there with you. I'm gonna give it an 8.6.
Nice. And now I reflective on my score. Looking at the episode recaps, I remember the next one that you haven't watched yet, and I'm going to go higher by next week. So yeah, infantry.
Plus, this is like one of those things that I think you, myself, and Christian have talked about a ton when it comes to Apple TV. Like, they're not afraid to just like push their chips in the middle with anything. And obviously, it's a streaming platform, so you can get away with a bit more. But like, openly showing like somebody masturbating is like, that's like, hey, we're here. We're not holding back in our storytelling, and you know, it's funny, but it also is just like, hey, we're here and we're gonna put our nuts on the table and just
It
do
makes
whatever we think is going to help tell our stories the best.
it makes you respect the audacity, I guess, to be able to do something that other streaming studios wouldn't dare to do or physically can't do.
100%. Big fan of this episode, so it's an 8.6 across the board from Dylan and myself. Let us know if you're rewatching with us, your score for this episode, your thoughts on it in the comment section on YouTube or on the Apple Podcast reviews or in the Twitter or Instagram DMs.
It goes down in the DMs.
So that brings us, Dylan, to the new show that is on the docket that we started last week. It is White House Plumbers, brought to you by our friends over at Tomahawk Shades, the best small batch eyewear in the game. You guys should be wearing your blue light glasses. I just ordered a new pair, Dylan, because the Tomahawk Shades anniversary sale was going on last week, and I got the email, and I splurged on it because there was up to 90% off. And when you have the best small batch eyewear in the game at a fraction of the price of the big eyewear companies giving you that much of a discount, you can't not go with it. And Tomahawk Shades, they've been rocking with us since 2020, which is right when this podcast started, pretty much. So that's how you know they're real ones. Right when a global pandy-wandy was going down, they said, hey, let's jump on with these boys and make some magic happen. They've got the best sunglasses, blue light glasses, prescription lenses now available, ski goggles available, and they're doing it for a fraction of the price of the big eyewear companies. You guys can check out everything they have to offer. I have new blue light glasses coming in that are the same style as one of my favorite pairs of sunglasses that Tomahawk Shades has, so I'm excited to have those at my disposal, hopefully by the weekend, and you guys can get your own. When you go to tomahawkshades.com, use code USP for 25% off your order from our friends at Tomahawk Shades. That's code USP for 25% off your order at tomahawkshades.com. Shout out to Tomahawk Shades. Stay styling and profiling. Get those sunglasses for the summer months. Protect your eyes when you're watching your favorite shows and movies. And be the best with Tomahawk Shades. Dylan, White House Plumbers, episode 3. You and I were talking before we started recording. Easily, so far, our favorite episode.
Definitely the best episode of the series so far. And I looked, it seems like at least IMDb rating the community had the same consensus. I believe it comes in at like 7.4 individually for the first two. And then the second one, or the third episode, has a 7.8 rating. So the internet also agrees with us. It's definitely the most stressful episode. A lot happens. They once again try to break into that DNC. Dude, it just cracks me up that this is based on truth. Like the fact that some of this shit really happened, it's hysterical. But then you have to like put yourself in their shoes. Like it's not, or like in the shoes of someone living then. Like it's 1972. There really wasn't like fingerprinting at this point. There really wasn't like much of a CT camera. You know what I mean? Like there was cameras, but not really. Like it probably, I would imagine in 1972, and obviously I wasn't alive, nor was Kyle. But I imagine that most places probably didn't even have surveillance yet. And if they did, it's probably like a newer concept. And if they did, it might have only been like nicer places. So my point is, like, when they're trying to break in, like, you're probably watching it as someone from this century, and you're like, oh my God, how is there not like alarms and cameras? And at that point in time, like, some of the countermeasures of that building were probably just well-lit areas, locked doors, and the security guard named Joe, and that's it, you know. But that's the one thing that I had to teach myself watching the episode, because I'm like, holy shit, like, how am I not getting caught? And I'm like, times are different then. Times are way different then.
It's way different, everybody. So June 26, 1972 marks the first attempt to break into the DNC office in the Watergate building. Howard Hunt and his men, referred to as Unit 3, make their way through the back entrance of the building. And if you I should pause right here. If you haven't watched this episode yet, spoiler warning. I forgot Christian's not here to dish out the patent pending spoiler warning. So go watch White House Plumbers, then come back and join us. This episode titled "Don't Drink the Whiskey at the Watergate." Fantastic title.
Yes, it's ingenious from what happens in the episode. I love
so
that.
Good. So they make their way through the back entrance of the building. The 6 Watergate buildings are all interconnected, and the plan is to slip into the DNC office through the Watergate Hotel's banquet level after the office is emptied. Alfred Baldwin, a former FBI agent, is Unit 2, keeping an eye on the DNC office, waiting for it to empty. It is Friday night. It's Friday again. And Saturday, Sunday.
Ain't Friday
it's
for
Friday.
Working clock in that office.
And our plumbers expect the offices to be vacated soon. Their patience is tested as the Democrat volunteers overwork the clock, working late on a Friday.
Yeah, dude. Screw that.
They were big time pissed. So the plumbers assemble in the banquet hall, and after the waiters exit, Gordon takes everyone except Howard and Vio to enter through the back door of McGovern's campaign office. His inside man will let them in, giving them access to the office. However, both plans run into trouble as the security guards lock Howard and Vio in the banquet room, and Gordon's inside man chickens out when he is found by a janitor, and that's how the first attempt to break in is failed. Dylan, your overall thoughts?
I love that. I like watching them fail. I think it's hilarious to think of like how poorly things were planned out, but like it didn't go to plan. Like yeah, no crap. Like the people aren't gonna let you openly sit in this convention center all night, and like when they got locked in there, hilarious. The fact that the title of the episode is him peeing in a literal whiskey bottle, and then that just happens to stick as the title is hilarious. I don't know about you, but I enjoyed this scene of him trying to shoot out the light over and over again, like missing each shot.
Mm-hmm.
And then giving
my appendix or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. His back. His appendix. Funny stuff.
So then the next morning, Howard gets a pleasant surprise as Kevin, his eldest and most normal daughter, comes home for the holidays, and Gordon has joined the family at the breakfast table. Gordon pulls out his real gun when the youngest points his toy gun at him, forcing Howard to take Gordon outside. Almost Old Yellered his ass. He has planned another attempt that night, but hasn't told Magruder about the previous night's debacle. This time, they will be going into a separate office on a separate floor, as the McGovern building is a no-go due to increased security. And then this is when we saw the opening minutes of episode 1, that plan failing. Spoiled due to James McCord, one of the plumbers, wandering off onto the wrong floor. So that's how we get failed attempt number 2.
Dude, that guy...
just wild.
That guy's a literal idiot. I was watching that and I was like, please tell me this is not like true. Like, please tell me this is falsified. Like, this guy is. Ooh, I'm gonna get started. But like, I was like, dude, how'd you have you like super secret spy shit? And this guy's clueless. And then when he talks to the security guard and he's like, oh, I'm working for re-election. I'm like, brother.
Pause. Time out. Flag on the play.
I'm like, come on.
So James will tape the doors and they will be able to get in. Nixon has just signed the SALT Treaty, which if you ever took history in any sort of schooling, you learned about the SALT Treaty, and has won a major chunk of the public over. Why this dilly-dallying then, asked Dorothy. Howard's answer is exactly what was wrong with the entire operation. The third time's the charm, as our plumbers are successful in bugging the DNC office, as Nixon's speech heralding world peace echoes in the background. His best and worst moments are intertwined by a whiplash sense of irony, and it's about damn time they finally break in successfully.
Dude, I was wondering how many times it was going to take them to get in. I was also curious in terms of like, I wonder if that's true. Like, I wonder if they actually in real life did they actually try to get in 4 times, or is that? I mean, cause I feel like that has to be true, right? Because that's such a really. But that makes you think, like, in terms of like the real life aspect, like how are you that bad?
No wonder they got caught.
Ford, yeah, exactly. Like, you deserve to get caught, actually, if we're being honest.
You kind of see in this episode too some of the inter-family struggles between Woody Harrelson's character, his wife, his kids, where like,
Oh, dude, he's literally the world's worst dad. I mean,
sucks.
He's fucking terrible, brother.
Both of your kids are talented musicians. Yeah, you're right. Yep.
He just walks away.
And then, I'm going to go to Paris, and it'll be like when we first started dating. And then he's got to go back to the White House, and it's a whole mess. And he's just like, he's such a bad dad, such a bad husband.
Bad husband, once again, is an under. He's not. Some people just aren't cut out for family life, whether it's because of a lack of effort on their part. And it's Woody Harrelson falls into that category.
100%. So then they go in and break in a fourth time. Howard and Gordon are hanging back at the command center as the Cubans go in with McCord and Frank. But Wills, the night security guard in the Watergate, has removed the tape from the door. The Cubans report back. Howard wants to abort, but Gordon is calling the shots and motivates them to go again. A vote is finally called to decide, and they decide to go in. Alpha team go this way. Gold team go this way. Any questions? Gold team rules.
I was thinking that too, Kyle.
And they're able to breach the doors. Howard and Gordon celebrate, but Wills has caught wind of the tape and reports his observations. Alfred reports that a few hippies with guns are on the 6th floor. Dylan, they ain't hippies with guns.
They policemen.
It's the wee.
It means that those cops just happened to be in the vicinity, and they were like, "You son of a bitch, I'm in." Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Gordon instantly deduces they are cops and packs up. Macho does not respond to Howard's communication, and he finally responds and tells them that they have been caught. Howard realizes he has a room key to the room Gordon and he are staying in, and they pack in a hurry, fearing what's coming next for them. Howard is right in presuming the Cubans won't talk, but the episode ends as the police find the letter Howard gave Macho to post before going in. He clearly forgot it has Howard's name on it, which is addressed to the Lakewood Club.
what a fucking idiot.
Just an absolute bozo.
Dude, they're all so dumb. Like, Nixon really chose the world's not so brightest spies.
Absolutely insane, and it just goes to show you why Richard Nixon got caught, why everything was a debacle, why Watergate is what it is, and it makes you appreciate everything that Woodward and Bernstein pulled off.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. It also makes you think, like, had more competent men been chosen, would this have even been an issue? You know what I mean? Like, would there be a scandal? Like, would it just went unnoticed? You know?
Absolutely insane shenanigans. The fact that it took 4 times for them to get in, and then they're still getting tracked down, just shows their incompetence and why they're not cut out for the job. We thoroughly enjoyed this episode. We thought it was the best overall so far through the first 3. Equally, and I think it really does help progress, because we were kind of unsure last week after everything we saw in the first 2 episodes, Dylan, that we didn't know how they were going to jam pack everything in, since we believe it is just 5 episodes for White House Plumbers, how they were going to fit everything into place. I think this episode, being the midway point of this miniseries, did a flawless job of like setting the midway tone.
Completely agree. I think it was the best one yet. I think it set a good tone, the most excitement, the most, I guess, action. And I'm kind of excited to see. I think the next one will probably be slower because they're going to be like probably more court-based and more like law-inducing, because most of them got caught. And the other 2 are going to get caught. Probably, I would predict, within the next 10 minutes of the next episode, since Homie left his dues for a fucking golf club at the scene of the crime. Which that has to
Absolute
be
gold.
too, because why would that's just a random detail to put in
Right.
there?
Absolutely loved it. Super well executed episode. Great midway point episode for this mini series. Which, Dylan, what is your score for episode 3 of White House Plumbers?
I would give it an 8, dude. Solid episode, solid, best one yet. I enjoyed it. It was fun, and I'm curious to see. Well, I know it's going to go next, objectively, real life wise, but I'm curious to see where they take it.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it an 8.3. It was funny. It was well done. Shows you many different angles of our main characters that we're following along with the inter team struggles of the plumbers and everything when they're getting down to that vote and everything, and what's making each one turn one way or another. So I really enjoyed this episode. It was really well done. And an 8.3 plus an 8 is an 8.15, which in our books rounds up to 8.2. So an 8.2 out of 10 for White House Plumbers episode 3. Very job well done there on that episode, which brings us, Dylan, to everybody's favorite segment. It is the streaming platform Multiverse News and Notes, brought to you by our great friends at Kenwood Beer, the official beer of Underground Sports Philadelphia, and Dylan's beverage of choice when he's trying to break in to the Watergate Hotel.
How'd you know?
It is a refreshing light beer, only 4.1% ABV, 127 calories, only 10 grams of carbs. The best light beer on the planet. You guys can go to kenwoodbeer.com. Use that all new and improved Kenny tracker to see who has Kenwood beer on tap in the Philadelphia area. You can buy it at your local Philadelphia area liquor store, or if you're in Eastern Pennsylvania, you can get it at your local Whole Foods. Light body, light calories, plenty of flavor. The best light beer on the planet. Must be 21 or older to do so. And of course, please drink responsibly. Dylan, we finally got some updates on the MCU for 2023. Obviously, we've had a couple of movies.
Big cap.
We finally got news on the shows. Loki Season 2 coming October 6th with a premiere on Disney+. And then we also got an update on a show that a lot of people were wondering about, just in terms of how are they going to pull this off. There hasn't really been much about this show since we saw her grand debut in Hawkeye back in December of 2021. All episodes of Echo dropping on November 29th, I believe it is, on Disney+. Now, we were chatting in the StreamerSZN group chat, and
Yes,
Christian and you were a bit concerned about how it was kind of just like dumped that all the episodes were going to be there.
Yes, we were.
That made my brain kind of pivot to, we're going to obviously see Echo in Daredevil Born Again with the 18-episode season that is, and her pivotal role in the Daredevil space. I think this just means, with Bob Iger coming back into the fold, I wouldn't be shocked if Echo is more so a 3, maybe 4 episode show with like longer episodes. In a sense of like, instead of it being like Miss Marvel, let's say, which, you know, you and I enjoyed some aspects, but not the best executed show. And even the directors and showrunners said that because they had to pack in so much into season 1 because they weren't guaranteed a season 2. Let's say instead of a 6-episode, 30-minute episodes for the season, let's make Echo 3 to 4 episodes, 45 minutes to an hour long.
I don't hate that. I think that could be. That's an interesting take. Like, once again, I think I speak for Christian and myself. We were still up for debate in terms of like whether the show would be good or bad. You know, we were.
We weren't even determining that. It was just the fact that this is also rare territory for Disney Plus, where they are typically a week by week streaming platform with their shows. and to dump all episodes like that is something they rarely ever do.
Exactly. That's why we were like, it's just weird to have a show being advertised and then have one buried in the sub tweet, essentially, like at the very bottom.
So it is exciting though that the fall's going to be jam packed with MCU shenanigans, as we'll get Loki and we get as of now, the Kraven the Hunter movie and Loki season 2's premiere are debuting on the same day, October 6th. Then we get Echo towards the end of the year in November. We've got Secret Invasion coming in about a month, which is exciting. And then we have the Marvels also happening in November.
Secret
Invasion, man.
Sorry.
I think that's a good slate for what we have upcoming for the MCU.
I think so too. I think Guardians, I haven't seen it yet. I know you've seen it. My brother's seen it. I've had a couple of friends tell me that it's amazing and it's restoring people's hope in Marvel. So I feel like we're off to a good foothold for the new season or the new phase. I'm excited. I just hope that they take this momentum and they keep the ball, or they hit the ground running, so to speak. But other than that, I mean, I just really can't wait to see like how it progresses, the new phase.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think Secret Invasion, which you and I have talked about this on and off pod, we think Secret Invasion is going to be like that pinpoint for the post-blip, post-endgame MCU that really like puts the nitrous in the engine and pushes things to where we think this thing can go, simply because it feels like that's the last domino of the post-endgame era to really kickstart things into action of where the MCU is trying to take us.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I just kind of letting it unfold, and I'm sure my faith will be renewed once I see the new Guardians, based upon everyone's review.
Which, speaking of the MCU, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania now available on Disney Plus. So we'll be going on an MCU movie binge in the near future with Thor: Love and Thunder and Wakanda Forever, and then Quantumania. Now that they're all available, and
she's never seen like maybe like I don't even know, like three Marvel films, if that. So I'm trying to show her the world, so to speak.
I can show you the world.
Kyle, yes, that's the pun, Disney pun.
Dylan, I don't know your thoughts or your intrigue, but now available on Paramount Plus, Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves.
I heard I play D&D. I like D&D, and I've heard good things about the movie from people who also play. So I'm actually excited to see that. Long story short, there's a class in D&D that it's their job. It's called Bard. It's their job to like essentially like woo stuff. Like you sing to stuff. You like try to. Well, you can take it this way, but you can do whatever. You can persuade them to give them your wallet, or you can try to get it in their pants if you want to, do that kind of thing. Either way, the options are endless with that class. Point is that's what Chris Pine is. So I'm curious to see. It would make sense. Very charisma based.
I was a little inspired by our boy James Gunn. I don't know what exactly this is from. I'm going to click the link so I can give the proper credit. It is on YouTube, so we'll link the video in the description. But James Gunn ranked his top 5 comic book movies of all time. I want to see who it's coming from, if my browser wants to load properly.
That's a hard question.
It's from GQ. So he did an interview with GQ to rank his top 5 comic book movies. These are James Gunn's, and Dylan, I figure we could give our top 5 as well. James Gunn said Into the Spider-Verse.
Okay.
Superman. A History of Violence. Old Boy. And Deadpool.
Which Superman?
It looks like
Christopher Reeve Superman?
Yes, Christopher Reeve.
So my top 5 superhero movies.
So we'll go our top 5 superhero movies that are out there in the superhero universe.
This is something you got to give a man prep for. This is.
I think I have mine, honestly.
Can you list yours, or at least one of
Yeah.
yours? You gotta give me a second.
I'm gonna do my no order, so no order for myself or Dylan.
Okay.
Into the Spider-Verse is absolutely on my list. That is in my top 10 movies, I think, of all time. I absolutely love that movie. So I'm going into the Spider-Verse. I am going to go with The Dark Knight with Heath Ledger as the Joker. I am going to go with
Oh, okay. Well, I know one of mine. Spider-Man 2.
That's a good one. I'm gonna go with Black Panther. I'm going to go with Iron Man 1.
Ooh, classic.
And
I'm like looking at a list of like superhero, like every superhero movie ever.
I am also going to go with this is tough. I'm torn on. I think I gotta do it though, and it's cliche, but I gotta go with Endgame.
Okay. There's nothing wrong.
I got actually. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Endgame. I'm gonna go Spider-Verse, Dark Knight, Black Panther, Iron Man 1, and Endgame.
I would have to go in no order. Spider-Man 2. I have to probably do Batman as well. That's where we're gonna agree. Just because, Batman's incredible. Now I would say my third one's kind of a sleeper. I just had it. I'm looking at a list because there's so many movies that Kyle and I have talked about. I'm kind of going with. Okay, so I'm gonna go with Batman as well. I guess I have to narrow down a movie. So The Dark Knight probably. I'm gonna go with Spider-Man 2. I'm gonna go with Blade.
It's a good one.
I'm gonna go for my fourth one. I'm not ranking them, so don't come at me. I'm gonna go. I'm trying to think of like ones that are like monumental to me. I'm gonna go with the original Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's the one I was torn with that and Endgame.
And then for my fifth one, this is on the spot too. So obviously, if I had time to think, I'd probably be more analytical.
Yeah, these are subject to change.
Fifth one, I'd say Logan.
Okay.
That movie hurt me. Have you ever seen that?
I haven't.
The movie hurt me, Kyle. That movie hurts, and I really haven't. So that's probably why I chose Logan. That's the saddest superhero movie I've ever watched. That's one of the saddest movies I've watched in my lifetime. So for me to feel that way, I feel like it has to be in the top 5.
Valid. So comment yours in the YouTube comment section as well. And like we said, ours are subject to change when Dylan and I have more time to just full length sit down and think about it.
I know one thing won't change. Without looking, Spider-Man 2 was the first thing I thought of. That might be like number 1 on my list if I actually ranked it.
That is such a good movie.
Shout out to Tobey Maguire. The only thing that's funny, and I can't not piss myself, is the scene where he's like holding the train. He looks like he's just shitting himself.
I think now that we're older and we actually know who he is, do you know the famous comedian that is in Spider-Man 2?
Oh, is Joe Rogan? No, not Joe Rogan. It's
In that universe.
Is he a guy? Is he a guy or a
Yeah.
girl? Is he bald?
No.
Is it? They still do stand up?
Somewhat. Not as often as they used to, but
Joey Diaz.
you got that right, brother. Joey Diaz is in Spider-Man 2.
He's on the train, right? When they yeah.
He just wrote a book too.
That guy's funny.
I love Joey Diaz. Dylan, I think you'll like this. I think Christian will like this, and I like this. Michael J. Fox says he doesn't think Back to the Future needs rebooting because are you going to clarify something? You're going to find a better way to tell the story? I doubt it. Do what you want. It's your movie. I got paid already.
I like that he's adamant on saying no to it, but at the same time, he's like, fuck it.
I love that. Great quotes there. Now available on HBO Max, the Men in Black trilogy.
Wait, I'm sorry, what was that?
The Men in Black trilogy now available on HBO Max.
Oh, that's like an underrated movie. Kyle and I have made jokes and references to Vincent D'Onofrio's water, sugar water. But but all jokes aside, I do enjoy watching. The first Men in Black is one of those films when I see it, everyone has one of these films, so don't judge. When I see it on TV kind of thing, I'm like, ooh, and I put it on. Mm-hmm. And I watch it.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 earned $62.6 million in the film's second domestic weekend, a 47% drop. This is the second best drop in MCU history.
Wow.
We got our first look at Spider-Punk, voiced by our guy, Daniel Kaluuya, in Across the Spider-Verse. Looks fantastic. Just looks so cool. I'm so excited for that character in that movie.
I read somewhere confirmed like 250 confirmed different Spider-Mens.
If not more.
Spider-Men's. I'm saying that as, there's obviously some women too. Spider people.
Spider peeps.
Yeah.
Violent Night releases on Prime Video on May 26th. That is the Santa movie with David Harbour.
Yes, I'm interested in that one.
We also got 8 years ago this past week, Dylan, Mad Max Fury Road released in theaters.
What? That long ago?
That's what I said.
Holy crap, that's a great movie, by the way. That might be, honestly, if we were to rank like movies, I'm not sure like how high, but that would definitely be in like top 25 to 50 all time for me. Great film. Oh, I mean, it's just a Hellboy for my top whatever. My movie.
It's a good one.
That's iconic. Sorry, go ahead.
A 4-part Tim Burton documentary series is in the works, according to Deadline.
Sign
me up.
I'm very intrigued by that. Hopefully, they make the documentary not too short.
Yeah. Martin Scorsese says, "I'm old. I read stuff. I want to tell stories, and there's no more time." Kurosawa, when he got his Oscar, he said, "I'm only now beginning to see the possibility of what cinema could be, and it's too late. Now I know what he means." That's just depressing, Martin. Why you got to do that to us?
It is pretty sad.
We got our first trailer for Extraction 2, which releases on June 16th on Netflix.
Haven't even watched the first one.
Neither have I. This one is a Sad Boy season. Filming for The Mandalorian Season 4 will likely be delayed due to the Writers Guild strike until a fair deal is made for the writers. Pay the goddamn writers. God damn it.
As they should.
This one's great. Our boy Pat Pitts is going to be thrilled because it is a crossover episode. Shout out to BoJack Horseman for him. Seth Rollins of the WWE has been cast in Captain America New World Order.
That's fire.
Which I believe is now the third wrestler in the MCU/MCU adjacent.
They be
casting.
popping out.
We obviously had Macho Man Randy Savage in
Oh yeah.
the original Spider-Man, and then obviously Dave Bautista, but Seth Rollins in Captain America: New World Order.
Makes sense.
I like it. It's fun. He's been popping up a lot more in like the pop culture zeitgeist. He was in the Chicago Bears schedule release video, so I'm excited for that.
Me too.
Arnold Schwarzenegger says he is done with the Terminator franchise. Quote, "The franchise is not done. I'm done."
Good, and the franchise should be done. There are some things that, as much as I enjoy as a nerd, like you don't need keep retelling the Transformers. Like the thing is, it's the same thing that Star Wars had issues with. Like, I get it. There's a guy named John Connor and Kyle Reese and Sarah Connor and the robot that looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like, we can do something different here.
Mm-hmm.
The whole world that gets taken over by aliens, or not aliens, like robot AI. You're not telling me someone else played a pivotal part somewhere along the line besides those 4 people? You know what I mean? Like, I yawn.
Yeah, 100% agree. Looking here, apologize if I mispronounce this name. Chiwetel Ejiofor has been cast in Venom 3, according to Deadline. For anybody who doesn't know his background here, he has been in projects such as 12 Years a Slave, Kinky Boots in 2005. He was in the movie 2012. The Man Who Fell to Earth, The Martian. He was in Doctor Strange.
Well, I like space movies.
And now that I'm going through this, I'm just an absolute buffoon, and I'm 99% sure now that I saw Doctor Strange. This is Chiwetel Ejiofor is Baron Mordo.
Okay.
So he's going to be in Venom 3, which is interesting as well. Don't know if he's going to be playing Mordo, because now we've had kind of the crossing overs of the MCU and the Venomverse and everything. So we'll see what happens there. All 4 Indiana Jones films, Dylan, I'm sure you're stoked for this. They'll release on Disney Plus on May 31st.
No ticket. Throws the guy off the balloon.
Dun, 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 dun,
My brother really quote that all the time. We're playing a game in the video games in real life, and we'll kind of screw it over, and we'll be like, and someone will be like, "Why'd you do that?" And we'll be like, "No ticket." Shout out to Harrison Ford.
Absolutely. Pixar's first original series, Win or Lose, releases in December on Disney Plus.
Interesting.
Confirmed to premiere on August 8th on Hulu, season 3 of Only Murders in the Building.
Oh.
And like we mentioned earlier, both the Kraven the Hunter movie from Sony and Loki season 2 are now premiering on October 6th. And in the comic verse, we're getting a Miss Marvel one-shot comic in July, Dylan, titled Fallen Friend, The Death of Miss Marvel.
I saw that. She's going to be dying in that, obviously. For like corporate greed or something like that.
Very excited for that. The cover is Miss Marvel, Spider-Man, The Thing, Captain America, Captain Marvel, Iron Man, and Wolverine.
Pretty popular characters.
We gotten our first looks at the Five Nights at Freddy's movie that is releasing in theaters and on Peacock October 27th.
Like Zoink Scoop!
Matthew Lillard. And this was the surprise for me.
He's the bad guy.
Who's also in this one. Josh Hutcherson is in this movie.
Yeah, and Matthew Lillard's going to be a bad guy, right?
Yep.
Which is weird. Well, not his first time. Is he the original Scream murderer, or is it Scream 2? Either way, he's one of
those, yeah.
Scream killer slasher people.
Looking here. Moving on. Next, the first teaser for Nimona has been released. And then Sonic Prime Season 2 premieres July 13th on Netflix, adding to the my long-running theory, which Dylan, it should be coming out soon. I made an appearance with our good friends, the Packstreet Boys, on one of their shows that's coming to their YouTube channel. And after we got done recording, I pitched my entire Super Smash Brothers cinematic universe to them, and they are all on board and like didn't even connect the pieces really until I was like laying the land for them. I was like, we had Detective Pikachu, we got Sonic, we're getting the Knuckles series, we got the Mario movie. Like, tell me you wouldn't want a Legend of Zelda series. We're getting the Mega Man movie on Netflix. It's all coming together, baby. It's all coming up, Smash Brothers.
I just love when you go on this because I just picture you, but like in the version of the famous meme GIF Aliens, but like Super Smash Bros.
We're making that meme. I either picture myself like that or the Charlie Day Pepe Sylvia, like, come on, it's all Super Smash Brothers. I want your thoughts on this, Dylan. Nicolas Cage will become a playable character in Dead by Daylight.
I think it's pretty spot on for him because nothing that man does is the same or possibly like arguably sane. So it's right up his alley. Like, this is a Nick Cage move. Like, why? I don't know if you go Google what the game is. And for anyone listening, if you're not familiar, the game is 4 players trying to survive. So Nick Cage will be a survivor, I'm assuming. And then 1 player plays as the killer, which is all kinds of like some famous ones, like the Scream one, Freddy, Jason, etc., and like other made up ones. So my point is, why is he in that kind of game? Like, it's a horror game, but who knows? It's Nick Cage. So yeah.
We got our first trailer for Downey's Dream Cars, which is a Robert Downey Jr. like, I would say like Spike TV-esque type of show where he's going around and looking at all his dream cars and things. The series premieres June 22nd on what will be Max. By the next episode we recorded, it will no longer be HBO Max. It will just be Max.
But it's just going to be the same interface, right? It's just changing the name. Yeah,
and all of the Discovery Plus content will be merged onto the platform as well.
Nothing's changing. All right, cool.
We got John David Washington and Gemma Chan starring in the first trailer for Gareth Edwards' The Creator. Film releases on September 29th in theaters. And we also got the first poster and some still shots. We also have the full cast for Lee Isaac Chung's Twister sequel, Twisters, being revealed. And it includes Sasha Lane, Glenn Powell, Katie O'Brien, Brandon Perea, Kiernan Shipka, Anthony Ramos, David Corenswet, Daryl McCormick, and Daisy Edgar Jones.
I'm with it.
Fast X debuted with a 56% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay. Wait, did the White Man Can't Jump remake come out yet? Or is that coming out?
It either has come out or it's close to being released.
I don't know how I feel about that one.
Jack Harlow, baby.
Yeah, but it's just a classic, like, Woody Harrelson, Wesley Snipes thing. I don't know. That goes with the whole, like, some things shouldn't be remade. Not knocking either of the young actors until I see it, but that's something that goes in that category for me.
This is a crossover episode for Dylan's likings. A Creed anime has been created to be shown at the end of Creed 3 screenings in Japan starting from next week.
Now, this is such a bad take. I don't like Creed.
Interesting. I haven't seen any of the Creed movies.
I acknowledge that Rocky's cheesy, and admittedly I don't like 2.5 out of the Rockies, maybe 3, I guess, if you count like all of them. And the ones I do like, I know they're bad. Like, it's like a guilty pleasure. So to watch a movie years later, like, be done up with like presumably more budget than what Rocky has, and it still gives me like cheesy vibes, I just not really digging it. And also, it's more or less the same thing. Like, it's just a movie about a man against all odds is now a boxer. You know? It's just like, yeah.
Marvel Comics has announced Immortal Thor from writer Al Ewing and artist Martine Coccolo. The series, launching this August, will focus on Thor as the All-Father of Asgard, mastering his new abilities and facing off against the newly emerged Elder Gods. This sounds like something that Thor could adapt in the MCU, if you asked me. I like it.
I need to split the comic description. That's what this sounds like.
Sounding like we might need to get back on our comic grind, Dylan.
I'll do it. I'll pull it up. I'll live stream, make this account right now.
The Squid Game real-life competition series will release in November on Netflix.
I want to join Squid Games. Just kidding. We watched that show, and that shit was wild.
Eddie Murphy is in talks to star in a live-action CGI hybrid Pink Panther film with Jeff Fowler set to direct.
I would like to buy a hamburger.
Jackie Chan is in talks to return for Jonathan Entwistle's new Karate Kid film.
I guess that's cool.
And he is in talks to return as Mr. Han.
Mr. Han.
And then moving right along here, that Nimona project that I was talking about is a movie. It's anime. It's coming out on Netflix June 30th. We got the first trailer for that. Mortal Kombat 1 releases on September 19th. Not sure if that's a show, a movie, or a video game.
There's been all of the above with that series.
Yeah. We got the first trailer for Martin Scorsese's Killers of the Flower Moon. The film releases on October 6th in theaters.
I'm with it.
Moving right along here, we also got... this is the one that's going to make both of us feel really gosh damn old, Dylan.
You shut your mouth.
22 years ago today, Shrek released in theaters. What are you doing in my swamp?
What the hell, dude? Why'd you have
Donkey?
Donkey.
Duloc is. Duloc is.
Do the right. Do the right. Do the right.
That's crazy. Brianna Hildebrand and Shioli Katsuna will return for Deadpool 3. It seems like everybody that has been in Deadpool previously is returning, which is very, very exciting.
Do the right.
The Futurama revival will premiere on July 24th on Hulu.
Dude, I'm all for that. But if you give me another episode like the one with his dog and Bender, I will hurt someone. That episode made me unhinged. I want more Death by Schnoo episodes. And now you know. I don't gotta explain any further.
Dylan, are you ready? Ooh, we got our first look at Zoe 102. Film releases this summer on Paramount Plus.
I don't think I want it.
Don't know why we need it. We got our first character posters for Spider-Punk and Spider-Man India and Across the Spider-Verse. They look super, super cool. And we got our first character posters for Spider-Man Miles Morales. And The Spot, which the Spot poster looks so fucking cool. Might need to get that for the studio.
Agreed.
We also got posters for Spider-Gwen and Peter B. Parker and Mayday in Across the Spider-Verse, along with Spider-Woman, Spider-Man 2099, Ben Reilly Spider-Man, and Spider-Cat.
Spider-Cat.
Steven Spielberg's Ready Player One releases on HBO Max on June 1st. And then Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser is shutting down at Walt Disney World on September 30th.
You shut your mouth.
This movie just continues to get a more and more loaded cast, and I feel like we need to go see it. The Gladiator 2 film, Dylan. May Kalamaui, who we know from Moon Knight as the Scarlet Scarab, has been cast as the female lead in Gladiator 2.
That's pretty awesome. I just don't want to see it as a principle because why are you making another one?
Christian had the same thought. I had the same thought. And then the more and more we've seen this cast just evolve and grow and get absolutely insane, I feel like just based on principle alone, like we just have to see what they do with it.
Fair.
Unfortunately, Barry Keoghan will no longer star in Gladiator 2 due to scheduling conflicts. Fred Hetchinger is in talks to replace him, and I believe it has been confirmed that he is replacing him.
Nice.
Clark Johnson will star in and direct episodes of Daredevil Born Again. He will recur as a character named Cherry. That is according to Deadline.
Cherry pie.
I feel like you're going to have a lot of characters in that show just because it's 18 episodes, so you're going to have a lot of stuff coming through.
That's true.
The live-action Powerpuff Girls series is no longer being redeveloped at the CW.
Damn it! We riot.
Multiple titles are being removed from Disney Plus for cost-cutting reasons, including Willow, Big Shot, Timmy Failure, unfortunately, Turner and Hooch, The Mysterious Benedict Society, and The World According to Jeff Goldblum, which is also unfortunate because that show is really, really good. I really enjoyed The World According to Jeff Goldblum. So definitely watch them if you wanted to watch them. Get them in before they're gone. And multiple titles are also being removed from Hulu due to cost-cutting measures, including Pistol, Dollface, The Premise, Little Demon, and Why the Last Man. There are a total of 30 original titles being removed. I want your thoughts on this, Dylan. Negotiations are said to have fell through due to pay, but reportedly approached to star as Sue Storm in the Fantastic Four was none other than Emma Stone. I would have liked to have seen it.
I think so too. I think I would like that.
So that's kind of a bummer. That
yeah, I'm kind of gonna go. I'm gonna go to sleep now.
And then Jeff Loveness is reportedly no longer going to write Avengers: The Kang Dynasty.
Yeah, well, the whole Kang might not be Kang. He might be in Bang Bang. I was trying to think of a rhyme. He might be in jail. As I was trying to say.
Bang Bang Clink Clink.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
allegedly. It's
the implication.
That's all I've got. Make sure you guys are following us on the socials at StreamerSZN on Twitter and Instagram. Follow Dylan on Twitter at Dylan Mazzola. Follow Christian on Twitter at thewiz_PHI. Follow me at KBIZZL311. And Dylan, say the line.
Check myself in third person. You're just gonna be literally telling Kyle, Christian, and I what to watch. It could be a movie, a streaming service, what have you, on any of the applications, on any of the services that you can listen to us. Please feel free to leave it in the comment section of YouTube. Follow us, like and subscribe, and do the same thing for any of the other apps.
100%. And make sure you're also subscribed to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@UndergroundSportsPhiladelphia. It's where you get full video episodes, clips, shorts, live streams, and everything in between of all of our podcasts on this network. We have a company-wide goal of 500 subscribers in the next 10 days. Let's make it happen. We are 36 subscribers away from that goal. Let's get there before Memorial Day, or by Memorial Day. That is the goal. But let's get there before. Let's make it happen. YouTube.com/@UndergroundSportsPhiladelphia and go get your merch. PHIapparel.co. Use code Underground for 10% off any and all merch orders and tag us when you get your merch because we want to see where you're rocking your Streamer Season merch from. But this has been another edition of Streamer Season, the exclusive streaming platform TV and movie podcast on the Underground Sports Philadelphia Podcast Network. For Dylan, I'm KB. We are going to go continue believing and not get caught breaking into the Watergate Hotel. Not actually. This is all fake. Not actually going to do that. But until then, we're getting the heck up out of here.
If we did that.
Later.